Welcome in to Municipal Stadium, everybody, here in Waterbury, Connecticut, as we're already underway for Game 1 of this two-game doubleheader between two of the top three teams in the CACC North. So welcome in, joined by our production team, everybody. My name is Max Stapleton, and we're thrilled to be taking you through the action. It's already a 1-1 count to Eric Diaz, and Brennan Holligan's on the mound for Post University. Make it a 1-2 count after that swing and a miss. We'll get you all the action and info you need to know. We apologize, had a little bit of technical difficulties. Got started a pitch too late, but hey, we're glad we're here. We're glad you can make it for what should be a crucial game in the CACC North Division. And there's a swing and a miss for the first strikeout and the first out of the game from Brennan Holligan here in the first inning. Eric Diaz goes down swinging. That's going to bring up Byron Arias. So it's the Dominican Chargers coming into this one with an overall record of 30-15. Here in CACC play, they're 24-8, and let's meet their lineup today. It's Eric Diaz, the center fielder, who just struck out swinging. Byron Arias is up to the plate now, and he's at third base. Takes ball one just a bit up and above the zone. Jaden Maya's batting third in right field. Kevin Hirsch, the cleanup batter, the designated hitter. Ian Labrador's in left. He's batting fifth. Following him, it's Juan Peralta, the first baseman. Ty Gilligan's behind the plate, batting seventh. Batting eighth, it's David Knepper at shortstop. Then at second base and rounding out the lineup, it's Ryan Bongiorno. On the mound today, it's Brennan Holligan, who's coming off a fantastic start last time out against Bloomfield College overall in the year. We'll give you his numbers in just a second. It's his ninth start on the season. There's a high fly ball, but it's going to go fouling out of play down the left field line. Count moves to 1-2 on Arias. For our Holligan on the season, this will be his ninth start, and he's off to a seventh best ERA in the conference at 3.56 this year. He's walked 13 batters. He struck out 55 to lead the team and also fourth best in the CACC. Actually make it 56 after his first strikeout earlier, and he's looking for 57 here against Arias. Nobody on, one man gone. Top of the first inning, and two of the final 4 games of the season for Post, or final 6 games. It's going to run full to Byron Arias, the third baseman. Arias, the freshman out of Congers, New York, off to a .283 season this year, this being his 31st game. The payoff pitch popped in the air, just past the infield, behind the shortstop. That's Rivera ranging back there, and he makes the catch for out number 2. A little bit of a different defensive formation today for the Eagles than what we're used to. Jesse Alfala looked like he tweaked something a few days ago and is getting the day off, so it's Justin Rivera at the shortstop position. We'll give you that defense for the Eagles from left to right in the outfield. It's Dario Sosa in left, Demarius Rodriguez in center, and Isaiah Velasco patrolling the right field corner. Michael Cardona's at the hot corner, Rivera the shortstop, Rene Vega your second baseman, and Hayden Roberge at first. It's Eric Perez behind the plate, battery mates of course with Brennan Holligan out on the mound. Now Holligan in a 1-0 count here to Jaden Maya. Maya the 3-hole hitter, give you his numbers in just a quick moment. From the stretch, the 1-0. On the outer edge and make it 1-1. Boy, what a season Jaden Maya is having. Team best 420 batting average. That's good for third in the conference as well. It's also gotten above 1,000 OPS. Now the 1-1 offering into him. Just off the outside edge. Make it 2-1. Maya this year, he's got 10 doubles, 3 three-baggers, and a home run. He's got 38 RBIs, top 10 in the conference. It's a hard line drive deep into center field. Ranging back is Demarius Rodriguez, but in front of the track, he makes the catch, and that'll do it here in the first. It's allowed out number 3, but it's a 1-2-3 inning nonetheless. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base, and the Eagles coming to bat. We move to the bottom of the first here at Municipal Stadium. And it'll be Luis Rivera off to a great season this year for Dominican, stepping up to the mound. We'll see the lineup first that he's going to square off against for the home squad, the Post Eagles, coming in with a 26-17 overall record, 22-8 here in conference play. It's Rene Vega III leading us off at second base. Demarius Rodriguez will follow him in center field. Isaiah Velasco, he's next in right field. Batting cleanup, it's Justin Rivera, the shortstop. Jalen Kelly's batting fifth. He's the designated hitter. Michael Cardona at the hot corner batting sixth. Following him, it's Roberge at first base. Dario Sosa, the left fielder, batting eighth. And rounding out the lineup, it's Eric Perez behind the plate for the Eagles today. So far, Rene Vega in a 1-0 count going up against Rivera, the junior out of Clifton, New Jersey. Make it a 2-0 count now for him. Rivera this season having a tremendous year, a team best 4.09 ERA, this being his ninth start. Got the ninth most strikeouts in the conference with 51 of them, and I have a feeling we'll see the conference leader in strikeouts for Dominican later today. 2-0 is going to move to a 2-1 after the fastball dots the inside corner. So a lot of other really good numbers for Luis Rivera on the year. Top 10 in opposing batting average, top 10 in opposing home runs, and the list kind of goes on. You could see that Vega wanted to swing at that one, but did go around, and it gets ruled a strike either way. So count rolls even here, 2-2. For Rene Vega, another player who's having a tremendous season. Second best batting average on the team at .353. It's a true freshman. Kind of coming off a good series against Goldley Beacom. And chops one foul down the third base line. So we'll do the 2-2 once again. .353 batting average. Above an .850 OPS. 5 extra base hits, 22 RBIs. Not a whole lot of strikeouts. Only 12 strikeouts on the year for Rene Vega. Of course, now that I say that, he's in a 2-2 count, so we'll see if the broadcaster's jinx works. The 2-2. Chopped foul once again. So a battle here between Vega and Rivera to start off our night. The next pitch will be number 7 in this at-bat. Vega, switch hitter, batting from the left side here. Another 2-2. In there for a called strike 3. Boy, looked like a pretty good take by Vega just off the outer edge, but Patrick Burns, the home plate umpire, rung him up, and that's the first strikeout of the game for Luis Rivera. It's going to bring up Demarius Rodriguez next. Off in center field, another switch hitter. Make it back-to-back switch hitters for the Eagles to kick off their lineup today. Takes ball one upstairs and moves to a 1-0 count. Let's meet the defense today for the Chargers. Left to right in the outfield, it's Ian Labrador in left, Diaz in center, and Jaden Maya patrolling the right field corner. Byron Arias, he's at the hot corner today. David Knepper, the shortstop. Ryan Bongiorno, he's at second base, and Juan Peralta is the first baseman. Ty Gilligan behind the plate, battery mates, of course, with Luis Rivera, who's on the mound. Good count here for Demarius Rodriguez. 2-0 offering. Off the outer edge, 3-0, and we'll see if Rodriguez gets the green light. Has the best batting average in the entire conference this year, does Rodriguez, .433. Not to mention the second best OPS in the conference. He looked like he was taken the entire way, moves to a 3-1 count. Rodriguez, the senior, transferred over from Rollins College in his second stint with Post. 3-1 taken on the outside edge. He thought it was ball 4. Instead, it moves to a full count. That's the same pitch right there that Rene Vega was rung up on. So take note of home plate umpire Patrick Burns and where he's calling strikes, a little bit of an outside edge to it. Especially on that righty-on-lefty matchup. Payoff pitch. Chopped into the ground. Shortstop's going to make the play. Knepper fires to first. Not in time. How about the hustle from Demarius Rodriguez? We've seen his speed be a factor before this season, but he just legged out what looked to be a routine ground ball, turned it into an infield single. Looks like we're going to have an argument here already. I believe this is the head coach, Rick Giannetti, coming out to talk to the first base umpire in his 35th season for Dominican. Wanting to argue the first call of the game that Tyler Bullock has to make over at first. Not the most animated conversation between the two, and it was definitely a bang-bang play. Rodriguez, he has sneaky speed. He was really fast down the first base line, and the ground ball wasn't hit the hardest in the world. You're not really going to see that play call get changed, so I really do think this is more or less just Giannetti expressing his displeasure with the call rather than trying to get it changed. Rolled an infield single. We'll bring up Isaiah Velasco. Graduate student out of Sylmar, California, transferred over from Cal Berkeley. Off to a great year, .349 the batting average. Not to mention the 7th best slugging in the conference, .619 and an over 1,000 OPS. Runner on first with one man gone. First pitch on the outer edge for a strike, call it 0-1. .23 extra base hits on the year for Isaiah Velasco. The most doubles in the conference, 5 triples and 3 homers. Now the 0-1. High chopper to the first base side. Going to be too slow to get to, so Juan Peralta does the smart thing and steps on first. Called a fielder's choice. Moves Demarius Rodriguez into scoring position, but the job gets a little bit harder for the Eagles as there's now 2 away. It'll be up to their cleanup hitter, Justin Rivera, to try to bring him home. We typically see Rivera play third base, but he's the shortstop today again. Looked like Jesse Alfala tweaked something a few days ago, so just resting him up, especially before postseason. Rivera takes strike 1 on the outside corner. He's hitting .333 this year. He's got 11 doubles, 2 homers, and 45 RBIs. 10 walks to 19 strikeouts for the cleanup hitter. It's a high fly ball, fairly deep into left center field, but easily playable for Labrador. And he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 man left in scoring position for the Eagles. We're scoreless after 1, heading to the second. We move to the top of the second inning, and it's Brenton Holligan back out on the mound after working a perfect first, going up against the 4, 5, and 6-hole hitters for Dominican University. Be Kevin Hirsch stepping up to the plate, the designated hitter. Hirsch, a .351 hitter this year, and a righty-on-righty matchup to start off this second. First pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike, and it goes to 0-1. Hershey's got a .612 slugging percentage this year. That's, believe it or not, only the second best on the team. Top 10 in the conference. 7 homers, 12 doubles. Takes ball 1 off the outside edge, evens up the count. For Brennan Holligan, it was a quick first inning of work. Strikeout, pop-out, and a flyout to the 1, 2, and 3 hitters. Now the 1-1 offering. Looks like it missed off the outer edge. Make it 2-1 now. Halligan didn't pitch in the series earlier this week at Goldley Beacom, but his last start was Game 1 right here against Bloomfield a week ago. Gets the swing and the miss there, make it 2-2. Had a great outing against Bloomfield. Went 6 innings, only gave up 1 earned, 3 runs total. 5 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. Now the 2-2 offering into Hirsch. Make it 3-2. Second full count that Halligan has had to deal with so far tonight. Only the 4th batter he's faced, so Dominican doing a good job of working up the pitch count of Halligan, but haven't had anything to show for it so far yet. Now the payoff pitch. Line drive over the second baseman's head, Rene Vega, and into right field for a base hit. Boy, that one you were holding your breath on. It looked like Vega got a pretty good read on it, but it was just able to sneak into the outfield, and that's the first base runner of the game for Dominican. For Kevin Hirsch, he had a 6-game hit streak snapped in their last series against Holy Family, but right back up there starting a new one of the hotter hitters in the entire CACC, and now he hands it off to Ian Labrador, squaring around and gets it down. Goes right back to the pitcher. Halligan looks to second, but fires to first, and call it a sac bunt for Labrador, moves the runner into scoring position. Play goes 1-3, and now very quickly 1 away. We move things over to Juan Peralta. Except Juan Peralta's not really anywhere to be found. Like he was rushing out of the dugout there for a quick second. Peralta, the junior from Passaic, New Jersey, transferred over from Rowan Gloucester Community College. It's a JUCO D3 level. Playing pretty well, a .274 batting average. It feels like we're not going to see a whole lot of sub-300 hitters in this game, which just speaks to both the offenses. 2 of the top 3 teams in the North Division this year. First offering in on the outside corner, called a strike. It goes to 0-1. Peralta, you want to keep him off the base paths too because he's got some speed. He's a perfect 10 for 10 in stolen base spaces this year, and he's got a 6-game on-base streak coming into this game. Checks his swing. Home plate umpire says he went around, and it goes to 0-2. Let's meet those umpires today. They've already been pretty active. Behind the plate is Patrick Burns. Bob Auerbach, he's at third base, and Tyler Bullock, who we've already seen a lot of, he's at first base today. 0-2. Good slider. Waste pitch on 0-2, but couldn't quite get Juan Peralta to go fishing, and it moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Still got some pitches to work with if you're Halligan. Instead, he goes to the fastball on the outside corner, and it's ruled strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for Halligan. First one looking, and that's a huge out number 2 here in the second. So these 2 games today pretty much decide who gets to host in a couple of weeks the first round of the CACC tournament. Of course, that all depends on how next week's game goes. A couple of games go as well, but this one would give either team a huge advantage if they could win 1 or even 2. First pitch misses outside to Ty Gilligan. So especially when you look at the greater course of both of these games, scoring first is going to be a huge factor in Halligan trying to strand that runner in scoring position. Gilligan, a .304 hitter this year. 2 doubles, 2 triples, 2 homers, 18 RBIs. 1-0, misses inside, and it goes to 2-0 on him. He's got 15 walks to 15 strikeouts this year for Ty Gilligan, so extreme command of the strike zone as a hitter. Forces you to throw strikes, and that's a really good asset to have at the plate. He's also a catcher. And he bloops one into left center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Rounding second is Kevin Hirsch. Fielding it is Rodriguez. The throw comes into second base. Called an RBI single for Ty Gilligan, and Dominican leads 1-0. For Ty Gilligan, it's his 19th RBI of the season. He only played in 1 game in Holy Family, but he had 4 RBIs in that 1 game, so make it 5 ribbies in the last 2 games for him. Now we move things over to David Knepper. First pitch finds the outside corner, and it goes to 0-1. Knepper batting in the 8-hole. Transferred over from Palm Beach State College. My goodness, batting .391 this season. Quickly in a hole, though, 0-2. Both those pitches dotted on the outside corner from Holligan, trying to get ahead and stay ahead. Looking for his third strikeout of the game, second of the inning, the 0-2. It's not going to come on that pitch. Misses well outside, and it goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. For Knepper at the plate, it's 6 doubles, 2 triples, but no round trippers yet this season. Still 27 RBIs. 1-2's a high chopper. Going to be a tough play for the shortstop Rivera, but he goes the short way, and Rene Vega drops it on second base. Just all too casual altogether. And in my mind, that's going to be an E4 on Rene Vega. Everything felt pretty normal on Rivera's part. I think he made the smart play by going to second base. And the first error of the game is going to allow this inning to continue with a runner in scoring position for Ryan Bongiorno. So Holligan not getting helped out too much from his fielders here. And the righty-on-righty matchup, first pitch. Misses off the outside corner, 1-0. Bongiorno, boy, a .398 average this season. Not to mention a .503 on base percentage. That's the 4th best in the conference. And he's batting in the 9 spot for Dominican. The 1-0. Hard ground ball to the right side. Vega fields. Fires to first in time, makes up for his mistake that time, and it doesn't come back to haunt the Eagles. But in the inning, the Chargers, they get 1 run on 2 base hits, 1 error, and leave 2 men stranded on the base paths. It's a 1-0 game as we move to the bottom of the second. Here as you're watching Post University Baseball. Bottom of the second inning here at Municipal Stadium, and it's the Eagles looking to come back from a 1-0 deficit, going up against one of the CACC's finest in Luis Rivera. Rivera, he faced 4 batters in the first, gave up a base hit, but it didn't come back to haunt him, struck out 1. Now he's going up against the 5, 6, and 7-hole hitters. First pitch into Jalen Kelly, looked like a breaking ball, maybe a slider, finds the outside corner, and it goes to 0-1. Boy, first thing you notice when looking at Luis Rivera is how much movement he has. I even noticed it during the warm-ups before the first inning. It's on that pitch right there that he gets Kelly to ground to second base at. Bongiorno fires to first, and easy couple of pitches, a first out here for Rivera here in the second. It's different approaches on the mound when you look at these two starting pitchers, but just shows that how versatile pitching really is. You got Holligan, who throws hard, throws accurately out on the mound, and you got Rivera, who also throws accurately, but he's definitely much more of an emphasis on the break and not as much velo. Good pitch that time around. Looked like some type of fastball in the lower half, and it goes to 0-1. It's Michael Cardona at the plate now, sophomore out of Hamden, Connecticut. Righty on righty matchup in the 0-1. In there for a strike, and it goes to 0-2. Boy, these hitters have to make an adjustment at the plate on both sides. Patrick Burns is giving that outside corner to the pitchers. You've seen a lot of hitters so far looking back at him in displeasure, and they're setting up out there again. Rivera couldn't quite get the pitch out there, and it stays at 0-2. Cardona, a .301 hitter this year. 6 doubles, those are all his extra base hits, and 17 RBIs. 5 walks to 16 strikeouts for the Eagles' third baseman. This is start number 27 on the year for him. The 0-2. Slider off the outside edge and goes to 1-2 now. So 4 pitches in this at-bat, and all 4 of them have been teetering around that outside corner. Wonder if at any point Rivera decides to go back inside. Now the 1-2. Left it over the middle, but Cardona was late on it. Stays the same. Rivera, he's coming off his first somewhat troublesome start in a pretty long time against Caldwell 2 series ago for the Chargers. He went 5 innings and still got the win, but gave up 5 earned. It was his first time in the last 4 starts he didn't go over 8 innings. Count runs even. That was a pro take right there from Cardona, by the way. A tough pitch, fastball in the upper half, but home plate umpire Burns didn't give it to him. Now from the stretch, the 2-2. Checked his swing, ruled down low, and it's 3-2. Those are 2 stone-cold takes from Cardona, and we have ourselves a full count. What a battle here. This will be pitch number 8 coming up between these two. And now the payoff. Fouled off, we'll do it again. Pitch number 9 on deck. Boy, Cardona really showing some experience even though he's only a sophomore. Transferred over from UMass Lowell, and this is a pro at-bat he's putting up right here. Let's see if he can continue it. Once again, from Rivera and from the stretch, the payoff. High chopper. Going to be a tough play. Ranging in the third baseman, Arias. He fields it, but he's not even going to try the throw. And called an infield single on 9 pitches from Michael Cardona. And you could hear the post bench. They're fired up. Put the ball in play and good things happen. That's the memo right there. Cardona just fouling off a lot of really good pitches from Rivera out on the mound until ultimately he could just put one in fair territory. And hey, now he's on first because of it. Moves things over to Roberge now. Misses the first pitch outside, 1-0. Roberge, he's playing first base today, but he could also man the outfield. Off to a .295 season, an .815 OPS. He's got 8 doubles. It's the 3rd most on the team this year. Takes ball 2 in the dirt. That's a really good take once again. Now a good spot here for Roberge, a 2-0 count. Runner on first with 1 man gone. Here in the bottom of the second, Eagles trail 1-0. Rivera takes a deep breath. The 2-0. And Roberge checked his swing, make it 2-1. Looked like a pretty good pitch to hit there. Fastball, lower half. With how much off speed that Rivera has thrown so far early in this game, maybe Roberge was expecting a breaking ball there. See what he goes to here. The 2-1. Hard ground ball to the right side, fielded by the second baseman Bongiorno. He goes to second and pulls him off the bag, and everybody's going to be safe. Boy, that's a tough play from Bongiorno. Tried to go to second with it, maybe thought about turning too, but Luis Rivera, the pitcher, kind of signaled towards his second baseman, hey, I'd rather you go to first, and I think that's going to count down as an E4. Fisher scoring does come in, and yeah, that's the first error of the game on the Chargers. And it brings us over to Dario Sosa now. Sosa, the left fielder, with 2 on and 1 out. Takes the first pitch outside. It's ball 1. Boy, that's a good take once again. Sosa, the sophomore, out of Waterbury, Connecticut. .253 batting average this year, .373 slugging. Now the 1-0. Big wave and a miss. Looked like a sinker that time from Rivera. 1-1. Sosa looking to bounce back from a tough series against Goldley Beacom, the number 17 team in the nation in D2. He went 0 for 6 in those two games. Now the 1-1. Foul ball down the right field line, and it moves to 1-2. Inning started off with a ground out from Jalen Kelly on the second pitch of his at-bat, but then Michael Cardona had a great at-bat, and it ended up in an infield single. Hayden Robert's reached thanks to the E4, and now Dario Sosa's at the plate. Now the 1-2. Checked his swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did, said first base umpire E. Tyler Bullock, and that's going to be a strikeout. Wow, second strikeout of the game on the mound for Luis Rivera, and a tough break for Dario Sosa at the plate. It's a crucial out number 2 for the Chargers, and boy, 50-50 call. Tyler Bullock gave it to the pitcher. So the 9-hole hitter steps up to the plate in a big spot for the Eagles. 2 on, 2 out, down 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Eric Perez, the junior out of Los Angeles. First pitch. Ball 1. Must have missed down low. It goes to 1-0. Perez, the transfer out of El Camino Community College, batting .246 this year. 8 extra base hits, 7 doubles and a homer for 14 RBIs. Ooh, that pitch looked like it was going to hit him and just found its way back into the strike zone. It goes to 1-1. That's that breaking ball that we were mentioning earlier from Rivera. It's got a lot of movement on it. Now the 1-1 offering. High fly ball, fairly deep into left field. Going to be a tough play for Ian Labrador, and it lands in foul territory. Nobody made the call at first, but it was definitely a foul ball, and eventually Patrick Burns does make it. Everybody was taking a stroll around the base paths, and everybody's going to have to go back as well. It's a loud strike number 2, but that's all it is. It's now a 1-2 count, and Rivera only one pitch away from getting out of this inning. Rivera transferred over from Barry University. Again, in his last 3 starts combined, check this out, 24 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. Those were the 3 starts actually before his last start, I should say, but still. Perez going to have to protect here. The moment deserves a little more anticipation. Rivera steps off. Beautiful day here in Waterbury, Connecticut. Finally starting to feel like spring on a consistent basis. Eagles trying to celebrate. The 1-2. Hard ground ball to the right side. Bongiorno, he bobbles it. He recovers. The throw to first. In time. Boy, almost a nightmare type of play if you're Ryan Bongiorno on second, but he's able to recover it and end the inning for the Chargers. For the Eagles, they get no runs on a hit, 1 error, and leave 2 men stranded on the base paths. They still trail 1-0 heading to the third. We move to the third inning here in Waterbury. Through 2 innings, it's 1 run on 2 hits and an error for Dominican University. No runs on 2 hits and an error for Post University. Be the top of the order coming up to the plate for the Chargers. Eric Diaz to lead them off. Diaz, he's 0 for 1 so far today. Struck out swinging back in the first. He swings at the first pitch here, pops it into foul territory, but it goes out of play. Count goes to 0-1. Diaz hitting .365 this year. It's the reigning CACC Rookie of the Week. Oh, yeah, he's a true freshman. Almost easy to forget that when you take a look at his numbers. He's top 3 on his team in almost every meaningful hitting category. It's going to be a 1-1 count to Diaz now. That reigning CACC Rookie of the Week performance, well, he went 5 for 8 in a series against Caldwell University. Fouls that one back. Got 6 ribbies and 6 runs in that series. Smacked 3 homers in that series. Remember, he's the leadoff hitter. True freshman out of Middletown, New York. Trying to protect here and avoid his second strikeout in as many at-bats. Fouls that one off. We'll do it again. Righty on lefty matchup to kick off the third inning, the 1-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and that is the second strikeout of the game for Diaz, the third one for Holligan out on the mound, and most importantly, it's out number 1 here in the third. Moves things over to Brian Arias, the 2-hole hitter for these Chargers. Popped out back in the first, make him 0 for 1 today. Another righty on lefty matchup. First pitch, just misses the outside corner. Holligan going to fall behind 2-0 here to pretty dangerous hitter in Arias. Slugging .414 on the year. Came in as a pinch fielder in Game 1 against Holy Family, their most recent series earlier in the week. Started in Game 2, but went 0 for 3 in that series total. Car ground ball back up the middle, and that's a smoking base hit in a center field for Brian Arias. He moves to 1 for 2 today. Call it a base runner on for the Chargers with 1 man out as we move over to Jaden Maya. Well, it's a good piece of hitting. If you're Arias and the Dominican Chargers, getting ahead 2-0, and not the easiest takes in the world to get ahead in that count. Expect a fastball and hit it right back up the middle for a base hit. Third hit of the game total for Dominican. And a good block behind the plate by Perez. Still 1-0 now to Maya. Maya, he ended the first on a flyout. Make him 0 for 1 today. Sophomore out of Southington, Connecticut. Good slider, finds the outside corner, make it 1-1 now. Maya, the third best batting average in the entire conference this year, hitting .420. Leads the team in OPS, 1,028, the number there. Quick check on the runner on first, and Arias to no avail. Definitely got to keep an eye on Arias over on first. He's a perfect 6 for 6 in stolen bases this year. Not to mention, he was a 2-sport athlete in high school. He also played football. Doesn't look like he was an offensive or defensive lineman, so you assume he's got some speed. Righty on righty matchup. First one that Holligan has had this inning. The 2-1. Popped foul and out of play. Evens up the count at 2 apiece. .75 degrees today in Waterbury. Mostly cloudy skies, I would say, at this point. 7-degree winds, although pretty much have died down here at Municipal. Runner goes, the 2-2. Chopped through the hole of the right side of the infield. The hit and run works to perfection for Dominican. And that's going to mean runners on the corners with only 1 man gone. Don't know if it was called a hit and run or if it was just a stolen base that worked out that way, but either way, looks like one, and it really worked out. It created a hole through the right side of the infield, and Jaden Maya just smacked it through there. So runner in scoring position, one man gone. Right now, Holligan's looking for that soft ground ball so that the infield can turn two. It's going to be Kevin Hirsch stepping up to the plate. Hirsch had one of the Chargers' 2 base hits before this inning. He's 1 for 1 today and later came around to score. This is his 30th run scored of the season. Talk about a powerful offense in Dominican University. Boy, it looked like the first curveball of the night out of the hands of Brennan Holligan, if I'm not mistaken. Found the strike zone, make it 0-1. Check on the runner on first base and Maya to no avail. Again, we already know Arias has speed over on third base. Maya, well, he's a perfect 4 for 4 in stolen base attempts this year. Not to mention for Maya, that extends his hit streak into 5 games now for him. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses off the outside corner. 1-1 now. Hirsch already matched his hit total from the last series against Holy Family, where he went 1 for 6. So far, 1 for 1 today. Runner goes. The 1-1 off the inside corner. The throw down to second base. Not in time. Called a stolen base for Jaden Maya. He's now 5 for 5 in that category. And it's 2 in scoring position for the Chargers. That also takes away the possibility of the double play for the Eagles. Smart heads up base running from Dominican University, and Rick Giannetti calling the stolen base. Two in scoring position, 1 man gone here in the top of the third. The 2-1. High fly ball deep into right field. Going back is Velasco at the track. It's going to go over his head and 1 hop off the wall. 2 runs are going to come in and score. Call it a 2 RBI double for Kevin Hirsch, and it's now a 3-0 Chargers lead. Hirsch moves to 2 for 2 on the day. He's already third on the Chargers in RBIs, picks up 2 more for 36 on the season, and now you're looking to stop the bleeding if you're Brennan Holligan out on the mound. Both Arias and Maya came home to score. Moves things over to Ian Labrador on the play. That's a good piece of 2-strike hitting as well for Hirsch. Labrador takes ball 1 off the outside corner, and it goes to 1-0. Boy, in the first 2 innings of this game, we saw that called for a strike 5 or 6 times between both sides, and now all of a sudden here in the third, it's completely stopped. Righty on righty matchup. The 1-0 offering. Hard ground ball to the right side. Nice sliding stop by Vega. He throw to first in time, and that's a huge out number 2. It saves Holligan another base hit. Would have been the 4th in the row for the Chargers had that gotten through. Meanwhile, Hirsch moves from second to third. So with 2 away, but another run only 90 feet away from scoring, it's going to be up to Juan Peralta to try to bring him home. Peralta, he struck out looking. Again, on one of those pitches that was on the outside corner. It was called a strike pretty consistently through the first 2 innings, but here in the third, you're just not finding it that way. Peralta, the junior out of Passaic. Righty on righty matchup, and from the stretch, the 0-1. Breaking ball in there for a strike, and it goes to 0-2. Boy, you can see the frustration on Peralta's face right now. Didn't like the second call, and certainly didn't like the call that he was rung up on in his previous at-bat. Looking to extend a 6-game on-base streak for the Chargers' first baseman. 0-2, misses down low and away. Peralta checked to swing on that one. Coming off a really good series at Holy Family as Peralta went 4 for 6. Not to mention a run scored, an RBI. Also was hit by a couple pitches. 1-2, low and away. Once again, beautiful stop behind the plate by Eric Perez. that gets by him, that's likely another run scoring and an even tougher job for the Eagles hitting-wise. Now the 2-2. Ooh, just misses a little bit low and away. Again, you can see that he wants that call, Brent Holligan on the mound. He's taking a long stroll around the mound, and now he finally calls for the ball, but the count runs full, 3-2. Been a long inning out there for Holligan. 2 runs on 3 hits. This is the 6th batter faced, looking to avoid facing number 7. The payoff pitch. Grounded to the first baseman. Nice play by Hayden Roberge. Took a tough hop on him, but he was able to get his body in front of it, step on the bag himself, and that finally does end the inning. But for the Chargers, they get 2 more runs, 3 base knocks, no errors, and leave 1 man stranded on the base paths. It's now a 3-0 game in favor of Dominican as you're watching post-university baseball. To the bottom of the 3rd we go here in Waterbury, and the top of the order coming to the plate for the Eagles. It's Rene Vega, Demarius Rodriguez, and Isaiah Velasco, the 3 batters due up. Vega, he went 0 for 1, put up a good battle for the first at-bat of the game for the Eagles. Saw 7 pitches, but ultimately struck out looking. First pitch, ruled a strike, I believe, on the outside corner, not on the swing, and the count goes to 0-1. Vega, switch hitter, batting from the left side. True freshman. Coming off a pretty good series against Goldley Beacom. It's a hard line drive to the left side. It's a base hit, and it rolls down the left field line. Vega's on his horse. He's heading for second. Here comes the throw from the left fielder. It's not nearly in time. Called a leadoff double for Rene Vega, and the Eagles might be in business here in the top of the 3rd. For Vega, his 6th double of the season, all of his extra base hits, and man, he's 3rd on the team in runs scored, trying to add to that total so far this year. Be up to Demarius Rodriguez, first to try to bring him home. Already has a base hit today, got an infield single back in the 1st. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it straight back as the count goes to 0-1. Rodriguez going to make a run for the CACC MVP award this year with a .433 batting average. Looking to add on to that and some of his voting right here. The 0-1. Chopped ground ball back to the middle. Bongiorno knocks it down off his body, and everybody's going to be safe. Boy, not an easy play. It's a tough field to play off here on Municipal Stadium, and definitely takes a couple of weird hops. We'll see how that one gets scored, but I believe it's going to be an E4. That's going to be the 2nd error on Bongiorno in this game, and we're going to have a visit here. I believe this is Brian Looney, the pitching coach for Dominican, coming out to talk to his starter, Luis Rivera. Bongiorno might be a little bit shaken up as well. This is pretty unusual for Dominican University. They've already made 2 errors in this game. They're the best team in terms of errors made and fielding percentage in the entire conference this year. So, Eagles Going to have to take advantage of this if they're given these gifts because they don't happen very often from Dominican. We got breaking news here in the booth in Waterbury. There's a bee in the broadcast booth. I repeat, Michael Vesci, our athletic director or athletic communications director, is trying to get the bee out, and he did it. Look at Michael. True heroes here in Waterbury, getting the recognition they deserve. Shout out to Kristen Brown as well, also putting in her part. No shout out to Jake, though. He didn't really do much to help out during that. All right. Runners on first and third, nobody gone. And the first pitch into Velasco misses down low. It's 1-0. Inning started off with a double from Vega, and then that E4 allowed Demarius Rodriguez to reach. And right now, the Eagles looking to come back from a 3-0 deficit. A golden opportunity here. Runner goes, the 1-0 down low, and looked like Gilligan had trouble on the transfer. Call that a stolen base for Rodriguez. For Demarius Rodriguez, that's his 19th stolen base of the season. It's not something the Eagles do very often. They're dead last in the conference in stolen bases this year. But now they have two in scoring position with nobody gone, and it's a 2-0 count to one of their best hitters at the plate, Isaiah Velasco. Takes it down low, make it a 3-0 count to him now. If you're Rivera out on the mound, it's not the worst idea in the world, but it just doesn't get much easier if you try to work around Velasco. See what he does here on the 3-0. Oh, he goes right down West Broadway, 3-1. You got Justin Rivera on deck for the Eagles. 0 for 1 so far today. Velasco, by the way, he's also 0 for 1. 3 balls in the strike. Popped in the air, shallow left field. We'll see if the runner from third tags up. Labrador makes the play. Runner from third does go, and the throw comes into third base. So call it a sacrifice fly and a job well done for Isaiah Velasco. Gets the ball in the air, and the Eagles get their first run of the game. It's now 3-1. Pretty tough pitch to get up there deep enough to get a sacrifice fly on. Looked like a breaking ball low and below the zone. Might have been ruled a strike at the knees. You never know. Velasco decided it was close enough to swing and picks up an RBI because of it. For Velasco, it's his second on the team, 39th ribby of the season, and now with one away, it's up to Justin Rivera. As aforementioned, 0 for 1, and now in an 0-1 count. From Rivera to Rivera. The 0-1. Misses low and away. Good stop behind the plate. That's Ty Gilligan, the backstop. Prevents the runner from moving up again. Moves to 1-1 now. Velasco, a .346 hitter this year. Sorry. That's Justin Rivera at the plate. He's a .333 hitter this year. Misses upstairs, 2-1 count. So looking to add on to his team lead, 45 RBIs. He'll drive in one more with a base hit. Runner goes, the 2-1. High in the air, shallow right field. Jaden Maya went back on it. Now he comes in, and the throw to second is way offline, but not hustling back there is Demarius Rodriguez, and that's going to be a double play. Boy, Rodriguez was taken off from second to third. It was a pop-up, and he didn't fully sprint his way back to second. It was an easy turn of 2 for the Chargers, and that's going to end the inning. 1 run on 1 base hit, 1 error, and 1 man stranded on the base path. It's now a 3-1 ball game in favor of Dominican here on Post University Baseball. We move to the fourth inning here in Waterbury, Connecticut. And it's a lot of batters faced so far for Brennan Holligan. Look to settle some things down. Eagles still in a position here, but looking to not allow the game to be broken open too much. Trailing 3-1 in this one, and it's going to be Holligan against Gilligan to start this inning off. First pitch swinging for Gilligan, goes to 0-1. The catcher for the Chargers, he's 1 for 1 today. Picked up an RBI on his single, drove in the first run of this game back in the second. It's a high fly ball, fairly deep into right field. Velasco takes a step back, now charges in, and makes the catch. 2 pitches, 1 away here in the fourth. That was pitch number 60 for Holligan out on the mound now. 3 1/3 into this one, so the pitch count not in tremendous shape, but still got some time to turn it around, and first out of the inning and a couple of pitches definitely helps. It's now the 8-hole hitter, David Knepper, up to the plate. He reached on an error in his first time around, so call him 0 for 1. And he drives one back through the middle to center field, but it's going to hang up there long enough for Rodriguez. So 3 pitches and 2 outs for Holligan now. Ryan Bongiorno now at the plate, looking to make up for a couple of errors he's made today. Not really common at all for Bongiorno or these Chargers. Righty on righty matchup, nobody on, 2 men gone. And strike 1 right down the middle. He's 0 for 1 today, grounded out back in the second, did Bongiorno. And lines one foul down the right field line, moves the count to 0-2 on him. Boy, tied for the 4th best batting average in the conference coming into today at .398. Senior out of Stanhope, New Jersey. Looking to add on to that batting average. Trying to continue the inning for Dominican University. The 0-2. Breaking ball. Actually looked like it just missed off the inside corner. For a second, it looked like it was going to smack Bongiorno in the face, but it's a good curveball, and it drops off the kitchen sink. Makes it a ball and 2 strikes now, and Holligan looks ready. The pitch. Ground ball to the right side. Vega fields it, bobbles it, but recovers and throws to first in time. That's what the doctor ordered for Brennan Holligan. A 1-2-3 inning here in the fourth for the Eagles. And now they're trying to come back to the plate, coming back from a 3-1 deficit. We move to the bottom of the 4th inning. Eagles looking to make up their 2-run deficit, trailing 3-1. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7-hole hitters leading off this 4th. It's actually the same hitters that led off the 2nd inning for Post University. Kelly, he's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Swung at the 2nd pitch of that at-bat. Going up against Luis Rivera, now into his 4th inning of work, and that was pitch number 55 for him of this outing. It's a strike on the outside corner and actually fouled back, called 0-1. Kelly, a .297 hitter and an .839 OPS. He's got 2 round trippers this year, though, and 27 RBIs. Big power righty. That's ball 1. Still a lively fastball, despite the emphasis on the breaking stuff for Rivera. Misses upstairs, and it's 1-1. Kelly, the grad student out of Naugatuck, Connecticut. Made the CACC honor roll this past week. Fouls that off, now stuck behind in a 1-2 count. That performance against Bloomfield, what a performance it was for Kelly that got him the honor roll distinctions. Went 7 for 12 in 4 games against the Bears. That's a .583 average and 6 RBIs. 1-2 is a hard hit line drive straight away center field, and it's going to hang up there long enough for Diaz to make the catch. So a little bit frustrating for Kelly at the plate. You hit it well, just right at the center fielder, and it's a loud out number 1. Now it's Michael Cardona stepping up to the plate, who put up a tremendous at-bat back in the second. It was 9 pitches, and it ended up as an infield single for the third baseman for the Eagles. So he's 1 for 1 today. And he takes ball 1 low and away, 1-0. Already added on to his .301 average and already bounced back from a pretty tough series over at Goldley Beacom where he went 0 for 6. A little bit late on the fastball, and it evens up the count at 1-1. You know, it was a tough series at Goldley Beacom for Cardona, but shouldn't forget about what he did only a few games ago. It was Game 2 against Bloomfield last Saturday, where he went 2 for 4 and had 4 RBIs in that game. He was one of our 2 players at the game, as well as Dario Sosa. By the way, Sosa not on deck, but in the hole for the Eagles, should they get there in this inning. Righty-on-righty matchup, and Cardona ahead of the count 2-1. Nobody on, 1 man gone here in the bottom of the 4th. Checked his swing. Good breaking ball low and away. Checked down to the first base umpire, and Tyler Bullock says that Cardona did not go around. Maybe an errant throw on Ty Gilligan behind the plate. So Rivera had to go retrieve the baseball, and the count moves to 3-1. Good spot here for Cardona. Expect a fastball, hit a fastball, and you likely are going to lay off anything else. The offering. And he was just a bit tardy on it. It moves the count full, 3-2. Good swing. Line drive, just foul. That's a tough pitch to get out in front of. It's an inside fastball. It really might be a sinker. At the very least, a 2-seamer from Luis Rivera, because it's got some arm side run to it. I'll tell you what, it's not a changeup. Now the payoff pitch. Low and away, ball 4. Once again, a tremendous at-bat from Michael Cardona. This one wasn't the 9-pitch at-bat, but it was 6 pitches, and it ends with him getting on base with a walk. If I'm not mistaken, that's the first free pass given up today by Luis Rivera out on the mound. He doesn't give up a whole lot of walks, and today's just par for the course in that. Moves things over to Hayden Roberge. Roberge got ahead in the count 2-0 and reached on an error in his first time around. He's 0 for 1 technically, but the OBP has gone up. Now he's ahead in the count 1-0. Yeah, for Rivera, he's got 51 strikeouts on the year and only 27 walks, so pretty much double the strikeout to walk ratio. Hey, that's pretty good. Line drive. In and out of the glove of the shortstop, Knepper. They're on to second for 1. The relay to first, not in time. Boy, good hustle by Hayden Roberge out of the batter's box. And what a play by David Knepper, the shortstop. He jumped a foot or so in the air to make that line drive catch, and just in and out of the glove, and actually might have been the better play for the Chargers for him not to catch that, because it gave him an opportunity to turn 2. It was just Roberge was hustling. So call it a 6-4 fielder's choice for Roberge as he reaches. Cardona goes back to the dugout. 2 away, still a runner on first, and looks like we're going to have another discussion here. Rick Giannotti, once again, coming out of the dugout to talk to the first base umpire. And again, I think he's just arguing the call at first base. Now, in my opinion, this one, I believe Tyler Bullock, the first base umpire, got right. The first one, well, we would have to take a look at the replay. So Giannotti says his piece. Looked like a pretty cordial conversation between the two. Either way, situation remains the same. A runner on first with 2 men gone, and it's Dario Sosa, the man stepping to the plate. Sosa struck out swinging in his first at-bat, make him 0 for 1. Now behind 0-1 after the foul tip into the glove. Rivera taking his time on the mound, the 0-1. Check swing on a pitch low and away, evens it up, 1-1 now. Sosa, he's 0 for his last 7 at the plate. Takes a fastball at the knees, and it goes to 1-2 now. So you only need one to break out of a little bit of a slump, and I'm almost hesitant to call it a slump for Sosa. It's 0 for 7. Big pitch coming up for Rivera in his outing. The 1-2. Low and away. Gets past the catcher, Ty Gilligan, and that's going to allow Hayden Roberts to move into scoring position. First wild pitch of the night for either side. It's only the 7th wild pitch of the season for Luis Rivera out on the mound. A not very common occurrence. So a base hit likely scores another run and brings the Eagles to within 1. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and a runner on second. The pitch. Low and away, ball 3. I just got a reminder from Michael Vesci, the same guy who saved us from that bumblebee earlier the last time we had 2 outs a couple weeks ago, or I guess a week ago. It was that wild 5th inning against Bloomfield. Post broke a program record. I believe it was 21 runs in the inning, 16 of them with 2 outs. Big swing and a miss. Not this time, says Luis Rivera as he picks up a strikeout, and a big one at that to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base for the Eagles. They still trail 3-1 heading to the 5th. We move to the 5th inning here in Waterbury, Connecticut. It's been a fun one so far. Really high level of play, and especially out on the pitcher's mound. We've seen some really good pitchers between these 2 starters, and that's going to continue throughout the day. 2 of the best pitching staffs in the entire CACC this year going at it. 2 of the best teams in the entire CACC going at it. It's a 3-1 Chargers lead here in the top of the 5th, and they're looking to add on. First pitch swinging this time around for Eric Diaz. Skies it straight away left field. And Dario Sosa settles under it, makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Brennan Holligan here in the 5th. And by the way, for Eric Diaz, it's a rare 0 for 3 performance to start off his days. One of the conference's finest in both batting average and on base percentage. It's now Byron Arias stepping up to the plate. Arias 1 for 2, singled and came around to score a couple of innings ago. And first pitch finds the strike zone at the knees, moves to 0-1. Give the line scores through now 4 1/3 innings of work. It's 3 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors for the Chargers. 1 run, 4 hits, and 1 error for the Eagles. Holligan working a bit quicker so far here in the 5th, quickly ahead of Arias, 0-2. Holligan, this will be pitch number 69 on the outing for him. The 0-2. Misses low and away. 1-2 now. Good waste pitch with no balls and 2 strikes. Change up low and away. So let's see where he goes here. Does he come back with the fastball? The 1-2. No, he went with the breaking pitch once again. A really good take by Arias at the plate. Tell you what, I would have swung at that and then some. Back in my high school days, even when I'm playing video games, I swing at that pitch. It's 2-2. Fastball, but he just spiked it down low in the dirt, and the count runs full, 3-2. Arias looking to reach base for the second time today. Came in and slumping a little bit. Was 1 for his last 17 over the course of his last 5 games. And fouls that one straight back. We'll have another payoff. Yeah, over his last 5, he's 1 for 17. That's a .059 batting average. 1 run scored, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. But already today, he's 1 for 2 and looking to add on to that. Once again, another payoff. Down low, that's ball 4. A 7-pitch walk for Byron Arias, and he reaches base for the second time today. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's the first walk given up by Holligan on the mound. It's a base runner on with 1 man gone here in the 5th inning. Jaden Maya back up to the plate. He's 1 for 2. Maya likely to contend with Damaris Rodriguez and a few other candidates for that CACC MVP award this year. First pitch into him. Hard ground ball through the left side of the infield for a base hit, and that has extra bases written all over it. Heading into third is Arias. They're sending him around third. Sosa has trouble with it in left field. It's an RBI double for Jaden Maya, and the throw goes errant. He's now heading for third, and there's going to be no throw to third. Boy, called an RBI double and then an E7 for Jaden Maya, and it's now a 4-1 lead for Dominican. Dario Sosa had a lot of trouble with that. Out in left field, it was a hard-hit ground ball, and I couldn't quite see if it took a funny hop, but it looked like Sosa had trouble picking it up off the ground, and then the throw went wild into the cutoff man, and that allowed Maya to move up into third base. So second error of the game for the Eagles, and now it brings up Kevin Hirsch, who, by the way, is already 2 for 2. First offering in, misses low and away, and the count goes to 1-0 on him. First RBI of this game for Jaden Maya. And on the season for him, that's his 39th of the year. It's top 10 in the conference. 1-0, misses low and outside. 2-0 now. Dangerous spot here. 2-0 to one of the best hitters in the conference, but he waves and Mitch at. Pretty sure that was a breaking ball in the dirt, and it goes to 2-1. Risky pitch for Holligan. You don't see the 2-0 breaking ball too often. Hirsch, a .351 hitter. He's got a .612 slugging. He's ahead in the count 3-1. That's more than one pitch in the dirt in this at-bat for Holligan. All right, now Perez just trying to slow him down behind the plate a little bit. Signal to take a deep breath. 3-1 offering. Chopped foul down the third baseline, and it goes to 3-2. Huge pitch coming up for Holligan in this outing overall. You wonder how long the leash is for Ray Skold. Holligan, one of the best starters in the conference this year, but struggling today. The payoff. Grounded back up the middle, and that's going to sneak through for another base hit. Maya walks home from third. It's an RBI single for Kevin Hirsch, and it's a 5-1 Dominican lead. These top, really the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Dominican are just having a tremendous evening. Hirsch, he's 3 for 3 with now 3 RBIs. Maya, he's 2 for 3, and Arias, he's 2 for 3. So call them 7 for 9 combined. Now Ian Labrador is the man up at the plate. Corners come in for the Eagles, maybe expecting the bunt here. Runner on first, 1 gone. First pitch in. Line drive to the right side, but it goes foul. It's an 0-1 count. Labrador, he's 0 for 1 today. He did hit a sacrifice bunt back in the second inning, so it makes sense that the Eagles are prepared for it. A .326 hitter overall on the season. Line drive into right field, reaching over is the right fielder, but he's not going to get there. It rolls into the corner, doesn't get past Velasco, and goes as a single, actually, for Ian Labrador. Wow, that was a really nice play by Velasco over in right field, the hold to runner to only a single. Meanwhile, Kevin Hirsch moves from first to third. So it's 2 on with 1 away. Juan Peralta is the man due up, but I believe we might have a pitching change coming up before then. It's been a long inning for Brendan Holligan out on the mound. Kind of pacing around right now, and actually this is just the pitching coach coming out there. This is Brian Looney for the Eagles. Ray Skold as the head coach in his 6th year here with Post University. Meanwhile, on the other side, the head coach for Dominican, Rick Giannetti, in season number 35. So it's runners on the corners here. Still only 1 man gone. 2 runs already home. We're in the bottom, or in the top of the 5th inning. Next batter coming to the plate is Juan Peralta. This inning started off as a first pitch flyout for Eric Diaz, but then after that, Arias battled for a walk. Jaden Maya drove him home with a double. Hirsch drove Maya home with his single. And then Ian Labrador singled to put the runners on the corners. Now the first pitch into Peralta. Slider finds the outside corner, and the count goes to 0-1. Peralta is 0 for 2 so far today. A strikeout looking back in the second, and grounded out to end the 3rd inning. The next pitch missed outside. Checked his swing, appealed down to first base to no avail. We've already gotten Peralta to ground out once so far today. That's exactly what Holligan needs right now. Preferably back up the middle, but the runner goes this time around. Might have been a hit and run. Foul ball down the first baseline. It goes to 1-2. Ian Labrador is the man on first base. He's 3 for 3 in stolen base attempts this year, so not a whole lot to talk about, but hey, he's perfect in what he's got. And the 1-2. Breaking ball in there for a called strike 3. Boy, the second time Juan Peralta has gone down looking today, and that is a vital out number 2 for Brendan Holligan trying to keep this game close. For Holligan, that's his 4th strikeout of this game. Now it'll be up to Ty Gilligan to try to bring the runners home and continue the inning here for Dominican. Runner goes, first pitch in, line drive into right field. It's another base hit for the Chargers. 1 run scores. Heading into third base is Labrador, and they're going to send him around the plate. I believe there was a throwing error. Oh, yeah, the ball's in left field. Was looking down at my scorebook when that happened, and that's going to end up going as a single and another error on the Chargers. It's an RBI for Ty Gilligan, and it's a 7-1 lead for Dominican. Looks like we're going to have another mound visit, and I believe that will do it for Brendan Holligan in this outing. Boy, not the cleanest outing in the world. 2 errors in the inning, and he wasn't helped out too much by his fielding, especially here in this 5th. It's a 7-1 lead for the Chargers when we get back. New pitcher stepping up to the mound for the Eagles with 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th. It's the 5'10", 190-pound right-hander out of Windsor Locks, Connecticut, Dalton Wright, back on the mound for the second time in as many weekends here in Waterbury. Didn't pitch earlier in the week against Goldley Beacon, but pitched against Bloomfield last weekend and had a pretty good outing. Overall in the year, it's a 9.64 ERA through 9 1/3 innings of work. First pitch, breaking ball into David Knepper, misses down low, and it goes to 1-0. So for Brennan Holligan, the starter today, he gets through 4 2/3 innings of work. He's in line for the loss, and he's responsible for the runner on second. There's a strike at the knees, and the count goes to 1-1. Knepper, the shortstop at the plate. He's 0 for 2 so far today, but he reached once on an error. One of 3 errors committed by Post University today. 1-1 is a very high chopper over to the shortstop. Going to be a tough play for Rivera. The throw on the run, not nearly in time. Called an infield single for David Knepper. That's his first base hit of this game, and the inning continues as Ty Gilligan moves from second to third. And now the 9th batter of the frame to come up to the plate for Dominican. It's Ryan Bongiorno. Bongiorno, he's 0 for 2. Couple of groundouts, both of them to Rene Vega over at second base. Runners on first and third with 2 men gone. First pitch misses upstairs, ball 1. For Dalton Wright, got the save. His first save of the season against Bloomfield. That was a 3-inning save. It wasn't really a save situation, but because he pitched the final 3, he gets credited for it. Fastball on the outside corner finds the zone, and it moves it to 1-1. And in that game, he went 3 innings, only gave up 1 earned on 4 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Runner goes, the 1-1. Line drive, ground ball, sliding stop by Justin Rivera. The throw to first, way offline. Boy, almost a fantastic play by Rivera. But instead, it's going to go down as another infield single for these Chargers, called an RBI for Bongiorno as Gilligan came around to score. And it's now an 8-1 ball game. Meanwhile, David Knepper moved from first to second in the process, and boy, a little bit unfortunate for Dalton Wright out on the mound. You feel like you're doing everything right, no pun intended, but you just get 2 soft ground balls in the infield and a couple of speedy batters, and there's a bunt, another soft ground ball in the infield, but that one's going to roll foul. It'll be an 0-1 count. A couple of speedy batters, and all of a sudden a couple of runs on your ledger. By the way, we're back to the top of the order. It's Eric Diaz who just tried to square that one around. You don't see it too often with 2 outs. Diaz trying to bunt for a hit. Already came up once this inning. He led the inning off with a flyout on the first pitch. He's 0 for 3 so far today. Righty on lefty matchup in the 0-1. Big wave and a miss late on the fastball that time around, and it goes to 0-2. Dalton Wright looking to end the inning and stop the bleeding for the Eagles. The 0-2. High pop-up. Shallow left field, ranging back the third baseman, Cardona, and Dario Sosa was ranging in there as well, but it drops in foul territory, and we're going to do it all over again. At the plate, Eric Diaz is not the man you want to see in a clutch situation. He's having a tremendous year, a 365 batting average, and over 1,000 OPS, not to mention top 10 in the conference in RBIs as well. He's going to have to protect here in an 0-2 count. The moment deserves a bit more anticipation. Both of them stepped out of their positions. So runners on first and second, 2 gone. Here in the top of the 5th, no balls and 2 strikes. Dalton Wright from the stretch. Oh, and it just misses off the outside corner. I thought that was the end of the inning. Looked like a pretty good pitch. See if he can do it again here. The 1-2. High fly ball. Fairly deep into left center field. Going back as the left fielder, Sosa. Ranging back, and he makes the backpedaling catch for a loud out number 3 in the inning. But 10 batters come to the plate for Bloomfield, and they drive home 5 runs. It's now an 8-1 ball game in favor of the Chargers here on Post University Baseball. Luis Rivera back out there now, working with a comfortable lead. 7-run cushion to work with, going up against the Post Eagles and going up against 9-1-2 here in the bottom of the 5th. It's Eric Perez stepping up to the plate. Got a couple of scoring changes in between innings, and by scoring changes I mean, well, I just didn't know any better, but they're going to not rule either of those 2 plays to second baseman Ryan Bongiorno as an error. Instead, they're both going to go as infield singles. So Hayden Roberge and Demarius Rodriguez both pick up a single respectively.
One was a fielder's choice.
Instead, one was a fielder's choice, so I lied. Hey, I'm still catching up. It's a 2-0 count right now to Perez, who's 0 for 1 on the day. Hard ground ball to the left side. Knepper boots it off his chest and into left field. Well, that's going to be an E6, I assume. And I get confirmation. So, first error of the game on the Chargers. And it allows Eric Perez to reach safely. So, leadoff man aboard, and now Rene Vega is going to be the next man up. Heading to the top of the lineup for the 3rd time today. Vega, he's 1 for 2. Battled in the first inning, but ultimately struck out looking, and then didn't let it get to that point in the 3rd where he got a double. First pitch finds the strike zone on the outside corner, and it goes to 0-1. So overall, in that last inning in the field for Post, it was 5 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors, and 2 men left on base. Oh, 1, high ground ball. This could be 2 from the pitcher to short for 1, but it pulls him off the bag. They rule him out either way. The turn to first in time. Boy, what a play, especially by the shortstop, David Knepper, as the play goes 1-6-3 for 2. Boy, it looked like Luis Rivera pulled the shortstop off the bag, David Knepper, but somehow he was able to keep his toe on it, according to third base umpire Bob Auerbach, and that ends up as a crucial double play. All of a sudden, 2 gone and nobody on for Demarius Rodriguez. First pitch in there for a strike. The count goes to 0-1. Make it 0-2 now. That looked like a sinker, a little off the outside edge, but home plate umpire Patrick Burns thinks differently. Rodriguez, by the way, he's 2 for 2 today. And both of his at-bats, he gets an infield single. So, hey, that means Hayden Roberge gets credited with the fielder's choice. Now the 0-2. Line in the left, but it goes foul, so we'll do it once again. Boy, 7-run deficit for the Eagles here in Game 1. Got to start scoring some runs against one of the best starters in the league in Rivera if you want any chance at coming back in this one. Instead, it's swing and a miss for strike 3, and that'll do it here in the 5th inning. It's not a 1-2-3 inning, but it's just as good for Rivera as he faces the minimum. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and nobody left on board. Still 8-1 Chargers here on Post University Baseball. We move to the 6th inning here in Waterbury, Connecticut, and the Chargers looking to add on to their 7-run cushion. Already sitting at first in the CACC North Division. Same amount of losses in the loss column between these two teams, but Dominican has a few more games played out of conference. Or I apologize, in conference. First pitch into Byron Arias misses off the outside corner. The count goes to 1-0. Arias, he's 1 for 2 so far today. Reached twice on a single and a walk and came around to score after both of those. Hits one high in the air, shallow left field. Tough play for Dario Sosa into foul territory. He slides, but he's about 3 feet off. And the count evens up here at 1-1. Gave it a good effort, did Sosa out and left. Can give you the final line on the starter for the Eagles today, Brennan Holligan. He went 4 2/3 innings of work, but gave up 8 earned on 9 hits. Only 1 walk to 4 strikeouts. One offering coming up to Brian Arias. High chopper through the right side. It sneaks through the infield and finds its way into center field for a base hit. That's the second base knock of the game for Arias. Called a leadoff single for the Chargers, and now Jaden Maya is the next man up. Maya 2 for 3 so far today. A single, a double, an RBI, 2 runs scored, and not to mention he's stolen a base. Quick check on Arias over on first to no avail. As aforementioned, Arias, he's got some speed over there. Not afraid to let it fly. That's 2 quick checks on him back-to-back. Now, in Major League Baseball, if he were to throw over again and not tag the runner out, that would be a free base awarded to him. But here in the NCAA, we haven't quite gotten up to that point. Breaking ball in the dirt. Pitch 1 is ball 1 to Jaden Maya. And already having a tremendous day, one of the best seasons in the entire conference. So, yeah, if you're Dalton right out on the mound, got to be careful to him. Take a look at these last 7 games for Maya. He's 409, 9 for 22 in that stretch with 4 ribbies, a triple, a homer. Not to mention 4 runs scored as well. He's in a good spot here. 2 balls, no strikes, runner on first, nobody gone. here in the top of the 6th inning. The 2-0 offering. Fastball finds the strike zone, and it goes to 2-1. Boy, looked like a pretty good pitch to swing at if you're Maya, but might have been expecting a breaking ball there. Dalton Wright relies heavily on the off speed. Let's see if Arias takes off here. Looks like he might. Decides not to, but the 2-1 is lined foul down the right field line. It evens up the count at 2 apiece. Nice job battling back from Dalton Wright here. These two teams play 3 more games after this one, including one more today. And they each have another series. 3-2 runner goes. Throw down to second base in time. Boy, what a throw by Eric Perez. He catches the speedy Byron Arias trying to swipe second for a crucial out number 1 here in the 6th. For Byron Arias, that is the first caught stealing of the year. Shout out Eric Perez behind the plate, helping out his pitching staff. And now it's a 3-2 count to Jaden Maya at the plate, and the job gets a little bit less stressful. Line drive in a right field, charging over Isaiah Velasco, and he makes the play. And just like that, 2 outs here in the 6th. Next up to the plate, it's Kevin Hirsch. He's had a tremendous day so far. He's a perfect 3 for 3. A double, 2 singles, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored for the designated hitter. Righty on righty matchup, and the first offering in. Curveball finds the strike zone. It goes to 0-1 on him. Boy, Hirsch only continuing just what was a stretch of tremendous play. I mean, look, he went 1 for 6 against Holy Family, but even including that, in his last 7 games entering today, he was batting .333. 7 ribbies over that stretch, a triple, 2 round trippers. And that stretch as well, I believe he won the NCBWA D2 East Region Hitter of the Week. That's the National College Baseball Writers Association. The 1-1 offering. Fastball misses up and away, and it goes to 2-1 now. Already with 3 base hits today, and now one of the star sluggers for Dominican and a good hitter's count. The 2-1 off the outside edge, 3-1, and certainly can't blame Dalton Wright out on the mound being a little bit careful to Hirsch, especially after what he's already done today. See where he goes here. 3 balls and a strike. High fly ball, fairly deep into left center field. Going back, Dario Sosa at the track. And it 1-hops off the wall. Boy, just a few feet from being out of here. It looked like it had a chance off the bat, but instead it's a 2-out double. And the 4th base hit of the day for Kevin Hirsch. Have a game, young fella. Second double of the day for the designated hitter as well. And boy, it's just having a hard time getting him out as a post-pitching staff. A lot of good things that lead to those hits as well for Kevin Hirsch, especially getting ahead in the count. In 2 out of the 3 at-bats today, he's been ahead 3 balls to a strike. Moves things over to Ian Labrador. He's 1 for 2. A single and a sac bunt on his ledger so far, as well as a run scored. That breaking ball for strike 1. It's the same way he started off the at-bat to Hirsch. Curveball just finds the bottom half of the strike zone. It's a hard pitch to do anything with if you're a hitter. Went back to it that time around, and Labrador was late on it, so the count goes to 0-2. Labrador out of Miami. Went to Florida National University, an NAIA program. Overall in the season, he's hitting above 300, 326, but over his last 5, he's slowed down a little bit, only 3 for 12. Takes ball number 1 off the outside corner. And despite that 3 for 12 stat over the last 5 games, well, Still got 2 ribbies, 5 runs scored, and 2 doubles in that stretch. So, hey, you can't say he's not been productive. The 1-2 in the dirt. Beautifully stopped by Eric Perez behind the plate, and it evens up the count at 2-2. Junior out of Miami, already in his 3rd school in his collegiate career. It's a soft ground ball to the left side, but it hooks foul past the third baseline. We'll do the 2-2 one more time. Boy, it's been a couple of long innings out there in the field and on the mound for Post back-to-back. It was 10 batters who came to the plate, only a full frame ago for Dominican. And this is only the 4th batter of the inning, but just feels like Dalton Wright has taken his time, and it's been a longer stretch of time for the Eagles out there. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second base. The pitch popped in the air, foul and out of play. We'll do it at least one more time. Righty on righty matchup. And Dalton Wright trying to find a way to put Labrador away. The 2-2. Hard ground ball to the left side. Rivera fields, fires to first in time, and that does retire the side here in the 6th inning. No runs on a couple of base hits, no errors, and 1 man left on the base pass for the Chargers. Let's see if the Eagles can climb back from their 7-run deficit as you're watching Post University Baseball. We move to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's the heart of the order coming up to the plate for the Eagles. 3, 4, and 5 hitters, starting with Isaiah Velasco, the right fielder. He's 0 for 1 today, but does have the only RBI of the game for Post University and picked it up on a sac fly back in the 3rd. So Luis Rivera still on the mound now, going into his 6th inning of work today, and pitch count is still in tremendous shape. This will be his 82nd pitch of the outing. And it's ball 1 off the outside corner. So Rivera, as advertised today, one of the league's finest, especially in terms of strikeouts and ERA. And hey, 5 innings of 1-run ball against one of the top offenses in the league. Call that a pretty good day at the office. Count moves to 1-1 for Isaiah Velasco. Already gave you his numbers on the day, but a little bit strange for Post University. They're the 3rd best team in the conference in batting average, but they just can't seem to figure out Luis Rivera. Only 4 base hits as a team total today. They're hitting .312 on the season as a team. Meanwhile, pitching-wise, Luis Rivera, we've already told you his numbers, but Dominican as a team, they got the 3rd best team ERA, Post 7th best. 1-2, hard ground ball to the right side. Bongiorno does field this one cleanly and fires to first. 1 away here in the 6th. So Velasco moves to 0 for 2 on the day. And now it's Justin Rivera, the next man up. He's 0 for 2 now, and Kind of an unfortunate, it's not going to count as a GDP ground into double play, but it is a double play on his ledger. It's a fly out to right field to 6, the oh so common. Takes a breaking ball on the inside edge for a strike, and the count goes to 0-1. Boy, that's a really good front door slider from Rivera there. Just a pitch you're not going to be able to do really anything with if you're a hitter from the right side. Yeah. Tried to tunnel him that time, but tunneled it right into his back. So Jalen Kelly's the next batter up. It's the first hit by pitch of the day for Luis Rivera out on the mound. In fact, it's only the 5th of the season he's given up. In terms of free passes, well, it's only the 2nd. So runner on board, one man gone. Now Jalen Kelly stepping up to the plate. Kelly had a great series against Bloomfield not too long ago. Still looking for his first hit here today. He's 0 for 2, a ground out and a line out. Runner on first, one man gone. Eagles trail by 7. As a hard line drive into left field, it'll find some grass for a base hit. Chugging his way around second, but he'll hold up right there as Rivera called a single and the first base hit of the day for Jalen Kelly. And the Eagles might be in business here. 2 on with 1 away, and Michael Cardona stepping up to the plate. Cardona having the best day so far of any Eagle hitting-wise. He's 1 for 1. Reached on an infield single after seeing 9 pitches back in the 2nd, then worked a walk after seeing 6 pitches back in the 4th. First pitch into him this time around. Takes it down low, ball 1. It's been a little bit of a late-season rise for the sophomore out of Hamden. I mean, it's a former D1 transfer out of UMass Lowell. He's having just a tremendous, tremendous year. Just got his batting average above 300 and entered today at 301. Hard ground ball to the right side. It gets through, and that's going to be a base hit. They're going to stop everyone up a station, so call it back-to-back singles for the Eagles, this time off the bat of Michael Cardona, and the bases are loaded for Hayden Roberge. Maybe the right man at the right place and the right time for the Eagles today. Roberge also having a good season, hitting .295, but he's got some pop as well. 3rd on the team with 8 doubles. You can just tell from his 5'11", 210 frame that he's got power. And with the bases loaded, you'd like to see him utilize some of that right here. 0 for 2 so far today, but he's reached twice on a couple of fielder's choice. And the first pitch finds the strike zone. Good pitch from Rivera. Count goes to 0-1. We mentioned it, Rivera started this inning off having only thrown 81 pitches total, but he's already thrown 12, and this will be number 13 in this frame. It's a fastball, just misses up and above the strike zone. Count evens up here, 1-1. Roberge, he has technically reached today, so he's already extended his on-base streak from 4 games to 5 games. But looking to bounce back from what was a tough series earlier in the week against Goldley Beacom. He takes a strike on the outside corner, and it goes to 0-2. You can probably hear the post bench giving home plate umpire Patrick Burns a bit of a hard time. It's never a great look when the catcher behind the plate doesn't catch it and still rule the strike. Righty on righty matchup. Biggest pitch of the night for Rivera, the 1-2. Line drive, caught by the first baseman Peralta. The race to first in time. Oh, what a play by Juan Peralta. He steals a extra base hit away from Hayden Roberge and doubles up the Eagles without scoring a run. For the Eagles in the frame, they get no runs on a couple of base hits, no errors, and 2 men left on the base paths. It's still 8-1 Dominican here on Post University Baseball. Final third of this ball game, and right now it's the Dominican Chargers looking to add on to their 7-run lead. 8 runs on 13 hits. And 1 error in the game for Dominican. Meanwhile, 1 run on 6 hits and 3 errors in the game for Post University. Still Dalton Wright out there going into what is now his second full inning, but third total inning of work. First pitch is chopped foul to Juan Peralta, who we just saw make that fantastic play. You know, it's not going to make any like Sports Center top 10s or things like that, but in terms of the moment of the game, it felt like the Eagles were finally knocking on the door, had the bases loaded with 1 man out, and Juan Peralta not only was able to steal the extra base hit away from Hayden Roberge, but then get the double play. And he might have just fouled it up here, a high fly ball deep into left field, but it's catchable, and Sosa makes the catch. Excuse me, almost a Dario Sosa makes the catch out in left field, and it's a loud out number 1. So Juan Peralta, despite the great play in the field, he's 0 for 4 now today after that last fly out. We move things over to a player who's having a great day at the plate, and it's Ty Gilligan, who's 2 for 3. Couple of singles, 3 RBIs on the day, and a run scored. First pitch into him. Misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-0. Gilligan batting from the left side. Just a hard out to get. Ultimately knocked Brennan Holligan out of the game, and that was back in the 5th inning. Part of that 10-batter 5th. Way out in front of a breaking ball that time around, and the count evens up here 1-1. Boy, dangerous pitch. If you're Dalton Wright, out on the mound. Usually you see that fastball up and in, trying to get hitters out late. That time it was a breaking ball. If Ty Gilligan could just wait for that previous pitch, well, probably would have gone a long way. But instead, it's a 2-1 count now. Gilligan, the senior out of Ringwood, New Jersey, transferred over out of Ryder. Now in his 3rd year here with Dominican. High fly ball, foul territory, and it goes out of play. Count evens up at 2 apiece. And for Ty Gilligan overall, started his career back in 2022 with Ryder. That's in Division I, and got some at-bats, but not too many. Played some Summer League ball, and came over to Dominican. He's played Summer League ball every year since, actually, too. Not something you see too often here at the D2 level. Big wave and a miss, breaking ball in the dirt. Drop third strike, throw down to first in time. So Gilligan goes down swinging. That's the first strikeout of the game for Dalton Wright. Good-looking curveball. Out number 2 here in the 7th, and David Knepper is the next man up. Knepper 1 for 3. Reached on an infield single in the 5th and an error back in the 2nd. And takes a curveball in the dirt for ball 1 here in the 7th. Knepper also played summer ball, but that was back in 2022 before starting his college career, entering his freshman year. And the 1-0 gets lined foul. You know, he had his 4-game hit streak snapped in Game 2 against Holy Family, did Knepper, but despite that, entering today over the course of his last 5 games, he's going 8 for 18. That's a .444 batting average with 3 ribbies and 5 runs scored in that stretch. Next pitch misses outside. It goes to 2-1 on him. He's already got 1 base hit today, so those numbers just continuing for the Dominican shortstop. Dalton Wright trying to work his first 1-2-3 inning of the day. Nobody on and 2 men gone. And the 2-1 offering. High fly ball right field, but goes right to Isaiah Velasco, and he makes the catch. And there is a 1-2-3 inning for Dalton Wright on the mound. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Eagles trail 8-1. final 9 outs of the game for the Eagles, and the run scoring has to start now if you're trying to do anything at all and trying to make it a ball game. They trail 8-1 here as we enter the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1-hole hitters coming up to the plate, starting off with Dario Sosa. Big wave and a miss for strike one, and Sosi's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts swinging, and all 3 of his at-bats now against Luis Rivera, unless I'm mistaken, he swung at that first pitch sinker below the zone. Now the 0-1 just misses off the outside corner, so evens up the count, 1-1. Sosa, the sophomore out of Waterbury, hometown kid, batting .253 entering today. Line drive, but it goes foul down the right field line. Good job just staying with that pitch. Like a breaking ball breaking away from the right-handed hitter in Sosa, so just found a way to get the end of the bat on it. Now it runs to 1-2. Rivera looked like he's reading something in his glove. Now the 1-2. In there for a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Boy, third time Dario Sosa has gone down via the K today. And overall in the game, the 5th strikeout for Luis Rivera on the mound as he's getting through. Now 6 1/3 innings of work. Remember, in 3 of his last 4 starts, he's gone 8 innings strong, maybe trying to make it 4 of his last 5 today. First pitch into Eric Perez misses down low, call 1-0. Perez, he's 0 for 2 so far, but did reach in his last at-bat thanks to an E6 from David Knepper. Out in front of a changeup that time, and it goes to 1-1. Perez in game number 24 this season. Came in with a .246 batting average, but also 25 strikeouts. Gives a little excuse me swing at that breaking ball, low and away, and it goes to 1-2. Now in his junior season, the Eagles looking to go with a bit of a slugger in the 9-hole today in Perez. 1-2 gets fouled back. We'll do it again. He's got 8 extra base hits this year, 7 doubles and a round tripper. Now the 1-2. Just misses off the outside corner and evens it up at 2 apiece. Boy, a really tough take from Perez. Saw Dario Sosa only a batter ago get rung up pretty much on the same exact pitch. Now another 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Make it back-to-back strikeouts for Luis Rivera out on the mound. And the 6th strikeout of the game, quickly 2 down here in the 7th. Back to the top of the order we go. And it's the switch-hitting second baseman, Rene Vega, stepping back up to the plate. Vega 2 for 3. Or 1 for 3, sorry. A double back in the 3rd, but otherwise a strikeout and a double play. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner, and the count quickly goes to 0-1 on him. Fouls the 0-1 offering back into the backstop, and it goes to 0-2 quickly. Boy, Luis Rivera looking to strike out the side here in the 7th. Mentioned it in the pregame, and while going through his numbers, he does have a lot of strikeout stuff. Only entered this inning with 4 of them, but looking to make it back to back to back. The 0-2 misses down low and in the dirt, a ball and 2 strikes. Vega out of Tappan Zee High School. Out at the plate. When he was in high school, he won an all-league team honoree and also won the league championship. His dad played in the Mets organization, was a minor leaguer. Had a little bit of action in the show. One-two, backdoor breaking ball. Boy, really good pitch, and you could see Rivera thought it was strike 3 off the mound, but instead it's 2-2. Boy, that slider just found its way back to the outside corner. Personally, I thought it was strike 3. And if you're a hitter, there's really nothing you can do with that pitch. It's next to impossible to locate as a pitcher, but when you get it done, boy, It's hard to do it. The 2-2. High fly ball, left center field, tailing away from the center fielder Diaz, but he is there, and he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Luis Rivera. He's well over 100 pitches, but we'll see if they decide to come back out with him for the 8th. It's 8-1 here on Post University Baseball. We move to the 8th here in Waterbury, Connecticut. There was a lot of action offensively early in this game, but no scoring in the last 2 innings combined between the two teams. And we'll see if Dominican can change that here as we enter the top half of inning number 8. And it's the 9-1-2-hole hitters stepping up. Ryan Bongiorno leading off this frame, going up against Dalton Wright, who's still in there for the Eagles. We've seen Wright with longevity so far this year, and right now, Coach Skold looking to get some more of that out of him and trying to just finish off what's been a pretty tough game for the Eagles. Need 6 more outs out of their reliever here. 1-0 offering into Bongiorno. And there for a strike, evens it up, 1-1. The Dominican 9-hole hitter today, he's 1 for 3. Did get an RBI and an infield single back in the 5th. Batting average entering today, just a touch under 400. Squares around, pulls it back, but it's ruled a strike either way, and it's 1-2 now. Well, you don't see that breaking ball kind of up in the zone called for a strike too often, but maybe more often when he squares around like that. 1-2 offering. He went back to that curveball, but it misses down low in the dirt. 2-2 now. Dalton Wright going back to the 6th inning. He's retired 4 in a row. Looking to make it 5 here. The 2-2. Fastball misses up and away. Count runs full, 3-2. Eagles made a bit of a defensive substitution in between innings. It's now Ben Major out in left field instead of Dario Sosa. Major, freshman, coming in as a fielder in most of these games recently. 3-2 pitch is blooped right back up the middle, and that's an excuse me base hit. Just jammed him, but found a way to get it into center field, and it's the second base hit of the day for Ryan Bongiorno. Good piece of hitting, especially with 2 strikes there. Just protect, put the bat on it, and see what you can do. So we flip things over back to the top of the order. It'll be Eric Diaz stepping up to the plate. Diaz is one of 2 batters in this entire Dominican lineup who hasn't reached base today. Before we get to his at-bat, it looks like Eric Perez is having an equipment mount function with some of his catcher's gear behind the plate. Everything seems to be settled. Pretty shocking when you think about the day that Diaz is having. He's 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts and 2 flyouts to left. Especially with just the season he's having in general. 365 batting average, over 1,000 OPS, but for right now, at least, the Eagles have found a way to keep him quiet. Check on the runner on first and Bongiorno to no avail. Now, Buongiorno, he does have a lot of speed, 19 stolen bases on the year. In an 8-1 ball game, I'd be a little bit surprised if they send him. Check swing. Pitch is ruled upstairs, appealed down to the second base umpire, and they say he went around, does Bob Auerbach. So, called an 0-1 count to the leadoff hitter, Eric Diaz. Runner on first, nobody gone, and we're in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Another check over on Buongiorno to no avail. Eric Diaz, just been a struggle for him in the last 3 games or so. Went 1 for 6 total in the series against Holy Family and had a moderate hitting streak snapped. Now he pops this one up into shallow left field. Ranging over there, the new left fielder, Ben Major. And he makes the catch. It's out number 1. So 0 for 5, not to mention 3 flyouts to left for Eric Diaz so far today. With 1 away, still that runner on first. It's Byron Arias, next man up. Arias out of Conyers, New York. 2 for 3 so far today. A couple of singles, a walk, 2 runs scored, but for the first time this season, he was caught stealing. Delayed steal, runner goes. The throw down to second base. Not in time. Boy, a delayed steal call from Ryan Buongiorno in an 8-1 ball game. Never see that, I don't think. It's pretty rare. And Buongiorno looked like he was just reading Eric Perez's body language behind the plate. I think he saw that Perez was a bit casual with it, not really looking over in his direction, just decided to take off. So for Buongiorno, it's an even 20 stolen bags on the season for him now. Runner in scoring position with 1 man gone. And the 0-1. Breaking ball finds the strike zone, and it goes to 0-2. Arias batting from the left side, trying to protect. No balls and 2 strikes. And the fastball just misses off the outside edge. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Arias, the true freshman out of Nyack High School. Won all league honors over at Nyack and got all section honorable mention. 1-2 breaking ball. Boy, stone cold take. Looked like it was crossing over the strike zone and ended up in the dirt. Not an easy take if you're Arias at the plate, but the count remains 2-2. Arias doesn't have an RBI today, trying to change that. The offering from right in the dirt. Nicely stopped by Perez, but another throw, well, no throw down the third. Taken off and reading the play nicely was Buongiorno. Called a wild pitch. And now the count runs full. It's 3-2. What does Dalton Wright go with here? The payoff. Hard ground ball to the right side. Gobbled up but knocked down by the first baseman. The flip to first. In time. Nice recovery by Hayden Roberge over at first base. Got his body out in front of it and was just able to knock it down and recovered and flipped to the first baseman. Meanwhile, Byron Arias does pick up his first RBI of the day on the ground out. Buongiorno found a way to just trolled on home. First RBI of the day for Arias. Now nobody on and 2 men gone, and Jaden Maya is the man at the plate. First pitch into him. Breaking ball misses up and in. The count goes to 1-0. Maya, he's 2 for 4 so far. A double, a single, an RBI, a stolen base, and 2 runs scored. Takes strike 1 on the outside edge. 1-1 now. For the Eagles in the bottom of the 8th, when they come up to the plate, it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hole hitters. And you really need your offense to just get going, even if you're trying to get any momentum into Game 2 later this afternoon. Breaking ball gets chopped foul by Maya behind the plate, and it goes to 1-2 now on him. Game 2, of course, will start just about 30 minutes after the closure of Game 1. Got to believe that Joe Cristiano will be the man coming to the mound for the Eagles. Another slow chopper down the third base line and foul. And Jaden Maya doing a good job of hanging with some of these Dalton Wright breaking balls. See if Wright can finally put an end to the inning. The 1-2. Fastball misses up and away. Seems like a setup pitch there, and 1 ball and 2 strike count. Especially with how often Wright has gone to the off speed tonight. You just think that he's trying to set him up for a breaking ball low and away. Now the 2-2. There is that breaking ball, but it's lined, fielded on a hop. Actually fielded on the line by the third baseman, Cardona. And that's the final out of the inning. Nice reaction time from the Eagles' third baseman. And for the Chargers here in the 8th inning, they get 1 run on 1 base hit. No errors and nobody left on the base path. It's now 9-1 Dominican as you're watching Post University Baseball. New pitcher stepping up to the mound, and he's welcomed by a Demarius Rodriguez single into right field. They're kicking off this bottom half of the 8th inning. So Demarius Rodriguez leads off this 8th in a good way for the Eagles, his third base hit of the game. Move things over to Isaiah Velasco now. The new pitcher is Vincent Giambona, junior right-hander out of Levittown, New York. First pitch into him finds the strike zone or into Velasco, and the count goes to 0-1. Center field, it's Eric Diaz camped out under it, and he makes the catch. So after that Demarius Rodriguez single, it's now 1 away here in the 8th inning. All right, apologies about that. Justin Rivera is the next man coming up to the plate. So a single and a flyout to start Giambona's night. And now the first pitch into Rivera. High fly ball, left center field. Charging on the left fielder, Labrador. He makes the catch, and now there's 2 away. So 3 pitches, I believe, and 2 very different outs. Or 3 very different plays. And now with 2 away, moves over to Jalen Kelly. For 3 so far today. Runner on first and 2 men gone. First pitch into him, a nice looking sinker finds the outside corner, and the count goes to 0-1 on him. So overall, the book is closed on the starter for the game for Dominican. It's Luis Rivera, and we'll give you his numbers in just a quick moment. But out in front of a breaking ball that time is Kelly, and the count goes to 0-2. For Luis Rivera, the starter, he's well in line for the win. 7 innings of 1-run ball today. 6 hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. Kelly takes ball 1, so 1-2 count now to him. Giambona comes set on the mound. From the stretch, the 1-2 offering. Line drive, actually a fly ball into right field. Maya is under it, and that is the final out of this inning. So no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base for the Eagles. Still 9-1 with the Chargers coming to bat. New pitcher stepping into the game, trying to close out the final 3 outs of this game for the Eagles. It's the 6-foot, even, 195-pound right-hander out of Cheshire, Connecticut. It's Eric Gutowski stepping up to the mound. Gutowski making his 8th appearance of the year. He's 1-0 with a 5.19 ERA, and through 8 2/3 innings of work, he's given up 5 earned. He's given that up on 6 strikeouts and 11 walks. So, as is somewhat typical here in the CACC, a lot of pitchers struggling with their command, more walks than strikeouts on the season, and Gutowski no different. Facing up against one of the hottest hitters, not only of the week, but of the day as well, in Kevin Hirsch. Boy, what a day Hirsch is having. Perfect 4 for 4 at the plate. 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. So welcome to the game, Gutowski. Next pitch in, misses down low, goes to 2 balls and a strike now. We can close the book on the reliever Dalton Wright for the Eagles today. It's back-to-back really good outings for Wright. Gets into trouble a lot on the base paths, but typically finds a way to get out of it. This time as Hirsch skies one in the air to right field, charging on Isaiah Velasco. And he makes the catch. So finally, for the first time today in what feels like forever, Kevin Hirsch is sent down back to the dugout. Now it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter coming in for Dominican. Looks like it's Evan Amato stepping up to the plate rather than Ian Labrador. Amato, the junior out of Vernon, New Jersey, transferred over from Alverna University. Hitting .254 this year, this being his 28th appearance. Has no doubles but a triple, no homers, and 6 RBIs. 5 walks to 5 strikeouts for the typical outfielder. Tends to see a good amount of game action, just not a whole lot as a starter, less than half the starts than games played. Now the first pitch into the right-hander misses down low, and the count goes to 1-0. So if the night's over for Ian Labrador, he finishes his night 1 for 3 with a sac bunt, a single, and a run scored. This time a ground ball chopped to the third baseman Cardona, and it eats him up. Boy, the infield defense here in Game 1 for the Eagles has been a bit of an issue. Called another E5. That's the 4th error of the game for Post University. It allows Evan Amato to reach. And so a runner on first with 1 man gone here in the 9th, and now Juan Peralta steps up to the plate. Peralta, one of 2 starters for Dominican, who hasn't reached base yet today. And the first pitch finds the outside edge, and the count goes to 0-1. He's 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts, a groundout, and a flyout for the first baseman, but we've seen him make not just one, but a couple of really nice plays over at first base in the field. Takes strike 2 on the inside corner, and the count goes to 0-2. Not that they necessarily need it, but the Chargers looking to add some insurance runs on before the last licks for the Eagles. Quick check on the runner in Amato over at first to no avail. Now the 0-2. Misses down low. That's ball 1. So for Dalton Wright today, it's 3 1/3 in relief. He won't factor into the decision. Gave up 5 hits, but only 1 earned run. Didn't walk a batter and struck out 1. So again, likes to pitch to contact. Gave up some base runners, but only 1 earned run. There's a hard hit fly ball deep into left field. Dario Sosa ranges back and makes a nice over-the-shoulder grab. Had to leap for that one. And ultimately, it's allowed out number 2 here in the 9th. Boy, that ball snuck up on Dario Sosa, I believe. I think he thought it was just going to kind of die down, and he had to keep on backpedaling until eventually he had to leap to catch it. So still that runner on first, but now 2 away here in the 9th. And David Knepper steps up to the plate. First pitch into Gilligan misses down low, 1-0. Gilligan so far today, well, he's 2 for 4. Couple of singles, 3 RBIs, as well as a run scored. Catcher batting from the left side. Next one misses outside, so it goes to 2-0. Gilligan was another batter who the Eagles were just having a hard time getting out earlier in this game. Now ahead of the count 3-0. When you take a look at his numbers on this season, you see why. He has great command of the strike zone as a catcher and as a hitter. It's hard to get batters to swing and miss and chase stuff when you can't throw them strikes. Now the 3-0. That misses down low. It's ball 4. So an easy 4-pitch walk for Ty Gilligan. There is that command. For Gilligan, by the way, that's his 16th walk of the season. Now more walks than strikeouts. Moves things over to David Knepper. Runners on first and second, 2 men gone. Knepper does have a base hit. He's 1 for 4. Reached once on an error as well. Takes ball 1 off the inside corner. It's the first walk of the game given up by Eric Gutowski, and if you are Gutowski right now, you were to give up a run, it would be unearned. There's a ground ball to the right side. It's going to sneak through for another base hit. They're going to send the runner around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's offline. Called an RBI single for Knepper, and it's now a 10-1 ball game for Dominican. Aggressive base running from the Chargers this time around, and a nice piece of hitting from David Knepper, just putting it through the right side of the infield, picking up his 28th RBI of the season, and the job just gets a little bit harder for Post in the bottom of the 9th now. It's Bongiorno stepping up to the plate next. coming off of back-to-back hits. Back-to-back at-bats for him. And the first pitch, a breaking ball in there for a strike. It's runners on first and second still with 2 men gone, but a run already home now in the 9th. And the 0-1. Line drive into right field, but a hook's foul. And it goes to 0-2 quickly on the Dominican 9-hole hitter. Katowski in his 5th year with Post University. Now the 0-2. Oh, excuse me, swing, but he's able to just chop it foul as Bongiorno. Boy, that's got to be frustrating as a hitter. Or as a pitcher, excuse me, when the hitter just throws his bat out like that and finds a way to foul it off. Righty on righty. The 0-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Pitch down low in the dirt. Throw down to first base in time. And that'll do it in the inning. But for the Chargers, they get 1 run on 1 base hit, 1 error, and leave 2 men stranded on the base paths. It's now 10-1 with the Eagles' last licks coming up. We move to the final 3 outs of the game for Post University in what has been somewhat of a disappointing game 1 of this 2-game doubleheader. It'll be Cardona, Roberge, and Sosa, the 3 batters due up for the Eagles, and just trying to garner some momentum heading into game 2 and what's becoming a must-win for the Eagles if they want to get any chance at home field advantage in the first round of the conference tournament. Well, that's a nice start to trying to get some momentum. It's Cardona with a first pitch single through the left side of the infield, and hey, how about the day Michael Cardona is having? 3 for 3 at the plate now with a walk. How about the week that Cardona is having when you go back to not last series but 2 series ago against Bloomfield last weekend here in Waterbury, and had a tremendous game, won player of the game honors there, and just continuing it here today, reaching base all 4 times he's come up to the plate. It's now Hayden Roberge stepping into the batter's box, and the first pitch to him finds the outside corner as the count goes to 0-1. Out on the mound, it's Vincent Giambano, still for Dominican. The next pitch misses down low, evens up the count 1 apiece. Giambona, he didn't pitch in last series, but pitched against Caldwell a couple of series ago for Dominican. Went 2 1/3 there. Finds the strike zone to make it 1-2. Gave up 4 runs, 3 of which were earned on 4 hits, including a big blast. So far, looking better today. He's in relief of Luis Rivera. And looking to strike out Roberge, the 1-2. Misses low and away, evens up the count, 2 apiece. Rivera, 7 innings of 1-run ball today, in line for the win, barring some kind of unmitigated disaster for Dominican. Good job by Roberts just to stay alive, and the count remains at 2-2. Big thing for Rivera as well on the mound. The starter for Dominican today, 1 walk to 6 strikeouts on his ledger. Having command of the strike zone as a pitcher, not easy to do, especially not at this level. You don't see it very often, but he was able to work it to perfection today. Now the 2-2. Breaking ball, boy, I thought that was strike 3. Instead, the count runs full 3-2, and it's a stone-cold take from Roberts. Must have missed just a bit upstairs, said home plate umpire Patrick Burns. Now from the stretch, the payoff pitch. High fly ball, fairly deep into left center field. Ranging back is Eric Diaz at the track, at the wall, and it one's up off the wall. Rounding into third base is Cardona. They're going to hold him up there. It's Hayden Roberts picking up a no-out double here in the 9th, and the Eagles have 2 in scoring position. First base hit of the day for Hayden Roberts. Runners on second and third for the Eagles. Nobody gone, and Dario Sosa up to the plate. Sosa, he's 0 for 3. 3 strikeouts so far today, one of which looking. First pitch, a check swing ground ball to the left side, fielded cleanly by the third baseman Arias. The throw to first in time, and neither of the 2 runners move up. That's a big out number 1 on the mound for Giambona. Dario Sosa moves to 0 for 4 on the day after the first pitch 5-3 putout. Move things over to the 9-hole hitter now. Eric Perez back up. Perez 0 for 3 himself, but did reach once on an error. First pitch misses down low, and the count goes to 1-0. Boy, it's been a bit of a struggle for the 7, 8, and 9-hole hitters today for the Eagles. Only 1 hit between the 3 of them combined. Strike 1 evens up the count at 1 apiece. Actually combined, they're 1 for 11 right now, and barring Eric Perez getting a hit, they'll be 1 for 12. Big wave and a miss, and the count goes to 1-2. Giambona looking for a big second out of this 9th inning, the 1-2. Popped in the air, shallow center field, but directly under it is Diaz. Should be deep enough to score a run. And I stand corrected. Not tagging from third is Michael Cardona. Maybe in a 10-1 ball game, it's not worth even attempting the final out at home. So somewhat understand it. So just call it a regular old flyout for Eric Perez. And now Rene Vega steps up to the plate for the 5th time today. And instead, it looks like it's going to be a pinch hitter. It's going to be Sean Cleary stepping up instead of Rene Vega. So Vega, he finishes off his night 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored. And for Cleary, the sophomore out of Branford, Connecticut, this is his 8th game of the season, but only his 6th at-bat. He's looking for his first hit of the year. Righty on righty matchup. 2 in scoring position and 2 gone in a 9-run ball game here in the 9th. First pitch finds the outside corner, and the count goes to 0-1. Well, you got to give Patrick Burns, the home plate umpire, credit. He's been consistent with that call all night. It's just the first time that Cleary's seen it. 0-1. This should do it. Chop to the left side. Oh, never mind. Takes a funny hop and goes over the head of the shortstop. Knepper into left field. 2 runs are going to come home and score. And that's going to go as the first base hit for Sean Cleary of this season. It's a 2 RBI single here in the 9th. And it's now a 10-3 ball game. And Cleary, as a sophomore, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's his first career hit. We'll have to take a look at those numbers in between games. Hey, so I almost said the Chuckers, the team I used to work for. The Eagles get some momentum heading into game 2. They score a couple of runs here in the ninth, and now things move over to Demarius Rodriguez, and that's got to be a great feeling for Sean Cleary, picking up his first base hit and getting a couple of RBIs in there as well. Now the 0-1. Team misses down low, and the count goes to 1-1 now. Demarius Rodriguez, well, he's having a really good day. 3 for 4 at the plate. 3 singles, and 2 of them haven't left the infield, but it hasn't mattered. Runner on first, 2 men gone. 7-run ball game now. And the 1-1. Fouled off, moves to 1-2. Rodriguez, the switch hitter, batting from the left side. One of the league's best at the plate. Giambona comes set. The 1-2. Little blooper into left field. This actually should do it now, and Labrador makes the catch for the final out of this ball game. It's the Chargers taking game 1 of this 2-game doubleheader by a 10-3 score. Overall in this game, they get 10 runs on 15 hits, 1 error, and leave 9 men stranded on the base paths. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, 3 runs on 10 hits. They commit 4 errors in this ball game, which is just far too many. And they leave 8 men stranded on the base paths. It's going to be Luis Rivera who picks up the win today. He goes to 7-1 on the season. Meanwhile, Brendan Holligan gets his 3rd loss of the year as he drops to 5-3. We'll be back in just about 30 minutes on the Game 2 stream here on YouTube for, obviously, Game 2 of this series. But until then, have a good rest, everybody.